Welcome to another video on the C programming video series for the beginners. In this video, we will talk about how we can create the variables for storing different types of data and how we can access them. In the previous video, we have seen how to create a variable, how to store values in that, and how to access the value from the variable. In C programming language, in order to use a variable, first we have to create the variable. It is called as the variable definition. In order to create the variable, first we have to specify the type of data the variable contains, and then we have to provide the name for the variable. For example, if I want to store the age of a user, and if the age value is a whole number, then I can use the keyword int in order to say that the variable will contain integer value, just like this. And after that, I can give the name for the variable, for example, age. In the previous video, we have seen that we can only define the variable just like this and then assign the value for the variable later by doing the assignment operator like the way that I have done here. Or we can assign the value while defining the variable. That is also possible by doing just like this. Now, in the previous video, we have seen how to create the variables which can store integer values or whole numbers. In this video, we will talk about the variables which will contain the floating point number and character value. So let us say in this program, I want to store the weight of the user, and the weight of the user is a decimal number, a number which contains decimal digits. So here, first we have to specify the data type, which will indicate the type of value stored in the variable. In order to indicate that the variable will contain the decimal number, we can use the keyword float. And after that, we can give the name for the variable. Let us say weight. We should always provide meaningful names. And after that, if we add a semicolon here, then this variable is defined. A variable with the name weight is created and the memory is allocated. Now, as we have seen in the previous video, what we can do, we can assign the value for this variable by using the assignment operator. For example, let us say 60.50. Okay, this is perfectly valid. Here we have defined the variable first, and then we have assigned the value for this variable. If we want, we can assign this value while defining the variable also. To do that, we just have to type in weight equal to 60.50, just like this. Okay, here we have defined the variable and assigned the value to that variable. Now the next thing is how we can display the value stored in this weight variable. We can use the printf function, and here I will say weight is, and then we will use a format specifier for the floating point numbers. We will use the format specifier as %f, and then for this we have to provide the value. In the previous video, what we have done, we have provided the value directly, for example 12.35. so what happens here is this 12.35 will replace %f. Here, the value that we want to display is present in this weight variable. That's why we just have to refer that variable by using its name, just like this. Now, if I save this program and if I run this, as you guys can see, we get weight is 60.5 and then some 0. Here, if we want to limit the number of digits to be displayed after the decimal point, we can use %.2f. It will limit the digits after the decimal point to 2. So if I save this program and if I run this now, we will get 60.50. We have discussed about this %.2f in the tutorial about the printf. Now in C programming language, in order to represent the real numbers or the decimal numbers, we have two data types available. One is float, which we have already used here in this example. The second one is called as double. This data type double can also be used for creating the variables which will contain the real or decimal numbers. For example, pi equal to and this value. Now here both of this variable can contain the real numbers. The difference is that the double supports larger numbers and also it provides double precision. For example, you are writing a program and you need the precision of 6 to 7 decimal digits, then you can use the float. If you need, let us say 14 to 15 decimal digits precision, then you can use the double. So here, when using the printf function, in order to display the value of this variable, which is of type double, we can use the format specifier %lf, and here we can refer this variable pi. Now with the printf function, we can use the format specifier %ef. It will work, no issues. In modern compilers, it will work perfectly. But if you're taking the input for a double variable using the scanf function, then you have to use the format specifier %lf. If you don't know about scanf function, don't worry. When we use that, we will discuss about this. So here I am displaying the value of this variable of type double. Now if I save this program and if I run this, you can see here we get the value of pi. Now the last type of variable that we're going to discuss here is about the variables which will contain character values. So in order to create a variable which will contain a character, we need to use the keyword char, which will indicate that the data type is character type. And then we can have the name for the variable, let us say letter equal to, and again, we can define this variable first, and then we can assign the value just like this, as we have seen for the other variables, or we can assign the value while defining the variable itself. So it will be something like this. Okay. Here, in order to display this, we will say letter is, and then we will use the format specifier %c, and here we will refer the letter variable. Now if I save this program and if I run this, we will get letter is A. Now the last thing that we will discuss here in this particular video is, let's say you want to create multiple variables of the same type. Then what you can do is you can use the comma operator and you can define multiple variables in one go. For example, let us say I want to create variables for storing 3 numbers, and let us say all of them will be of type integers. In that case, I can write int num1, num2, num3. Now this will define 3 variables. Again, if you want, we can assign the values here also. So num1 equal to 10, and then the comma operator, num2 equal to 20, and then the comma operator, and then num3 equal to 30. Same thing. Instead of defining them in separate lines, we can do them in one single line. But when we do this, all these variables will have the same data type. In this example, it is int. So this is it guys for this particular video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. If you have anything to say, write that in the comment box. For more tutorials, subscribe to the channel.